Hi everybody, this is a quick video observing report. The eclipse of August 21st, 2017 up here in New York. We're observing through a hydrogen alpha filter, a 130mm f6 refractor, bino viewer, so it's really kind of a cool view. And we're only supposed to get 71%, so I'll just show you real quick what that kind of looks like. There's no good clarity to this because it's impossible to get a good focus through a video camera and an eyepiece without a special mount. But you can see glimpses. It looks basically like somebody took a big bite out of the actual sun. But what you don't see in here is the details that are given of the prominences. So I'll describe what I saw, and then I'll also describe just the surroundings of outside of what's going on. We're about 10 or 15 minutes past the greatest amount of coverage, which I believe New York was about 72%. In New York City, at least that's what it was described in the news broadcast. And what I saw in the eyepiece basically was two areas of large prominences along the limb, as well as a sunspot group toward the limb of the sun. And one of the neat things that I noticed at one point, just before the greatest amount of coverage, was that the prominence, there was a prominence that was coming out at one point from behind the limb of the moon. So what that did was it gave a really interesting effect, as if the moon actually had a prominence coming out of it, and it actually allowed me to see more of the limb of the moon, because once the limb of the moon is off in space, you know, as far as line of sight goes, you can't see it. You only see what's covering the sun. So because this prominence was sticking out from behind the moon, it was like as if we could see an extended limb of the moon. If that makes sense. Hopefully some people caught some cool pictures of that, but it's really hard to describe verbally. So anyway, aside from the view through the telescope, which was really good, thankfully it had cleared up just in time. We had these passing high clouds. I'm not even looking directly at that. I'm just sort of pointing my camera up there. But the actual sky color was very interesting. Because the sun is darker, you might assume like, oh, it's kind of like near sunset. But it's actually not. It's quite a bit different. It's like a gray shading to everything. Like, it's as if we put on a pair of sunglasses that have that, you know, like the smoky tint. Like a light smoky tint to it. So, and I guess that might be because the sun is up high in the sky, whereas sunset, when it's getting a little dark, the sun is down low, and we're having all that light pass through more atmosphere, which then gives us that nice golden glow. That's not the case here. It's actually more along the lines of you know, still high in the sky, so it's not much atmosphere, so it's just like a darkened grayish appearance to everything. My camera's mostly, like I think I said before, my camera's most likely compensating for the light, so you probably can't see it too well in here. But that's really it. Hopefully everybody that's observing this event saw it really well from wherever they were, and safely, of course. Especially everybody that made the long trip to the Carolinas or out west.